World War II did not end in 1945. The guns stopped. The money never did. Here is the fact that will change how you see every conflict on the news tonight. While 70 million people lost their lives, the New York Stock Exchange posted gains every single year. 1940, up. 1941, still rising. 1942, even during chaos, still going up. 1943, 1944, 1945, continued growth. 6 years of the greatest human catastrophe in history. 6 years of profit. The Dow Jones gained 47%. That is not a coincidence. That is a system. And that system, the exact same one, is operating right now. Same moves, same signals, same result. By the end of this video, you will see it happening in real time. How can destruction and growth exist at the same time? Let's follow the money. September 1939. Germany enters Poland. Within 48 hours, not weeks, not months, within 48 hours of that announcement, defense stocks in New York spiked. Before a single major battle, before any American was involved. Someone already knew where this was going. Someone had already placed their bets. At that exact moment, America was officially neutral. Roosevelt went on public radio and told every family, your children will not fight someone else's conflict. But here is what was actually happening. Standard Oil, and the Rockefeller Company, one of the biggest corporations in American history, was shipping fuel additives to the German Air Force. Think about what that means. Imagine you are in a boxing match, and the guy in your corner is also taping the fists of the person across from you. That is what Standard Oil was doing. Without those additives, German aircraft engines could not run at full power. Standard Oil knew this and kept shipping. Through a Swiss company, legally, Ford had factories inside Germany building vehicles for the German state. IBM, the same company selling software to governments today, provided the data systems the German administration used to organize records across occupied territories. These were not small operations. These were the three most recognizable American companies of that era. Not a single executive went to court. Now fast forward to 2022. Russia enters Ukraine. Sanctions are announced within 72 hours. Leaders across the world express outrage on camera. European nations kept purchasing Russian energy for 8 more months. 8 months. Why? Because contracts had to finish. Because profits had to be protected. The financial system around every conflict runs on a completely different schedule than the outrage you see on television. 80 years apart. Same logic, different names on the invoices. But this goes higher than corporations. One name. Remember it. Prescott Bush, U.S. Senator, grandfather of George W. Bush, father of George H.W. Bush. In 1942, while American soldiers were overseas, the U.S. government seized a company called Union Banking Corporation under the Trading with the Enemy Act. Prescott Bush was on the board of that company. That company had direct financial ties to Fritz Thyssen, the German industrialist who helped fund the rise of the German government in the 1930s. The assets were taken. A small announcement was made. Prescott Bush went on to become a U.S. Senator. His son became the 41st president. His grandson became the 43rd. Now, this is not about one family. This is about how large conflicts are financed. Governments do not print money from nothing. They borrow it. Think of it like this. When your city builds a new highway, the city takes out a loan. Someone collects interest on that loan for decades. World War II was the biggest loan in American history up to that point. $43 billion in 1940, $259 billion by 1945. 600% increase in 5 years. That debt was sold as war bonds. To banks, to corporations, to citizens, every bond paid interest. So the real question nobody asks is, who collected interest on $250 billion of wartime government debt? The same institutions that had been doing business on both sides of the Atlantic before the conflict ever began. Large-scale conflict is the most reliable debt machine ever built, and every debt has someone collecting on the other end. Here is a real fact available to anyone. I.G. Farben. In 1939, the largest chemical company on Earth, fourth biggest corporation in the entire world. During the conflict, I.G. Farben operated production plants using a coerced workforce from occupied territories. After the conflict, 24 executives were tried at Nuremberg. The harshest sentence, 8 years. Most served 3 or 4. By 1952, almost all were back in private life. I.G. Farben was then split into smaller companies. You know those companies, BASF, Bayer, Höchst. Right now, in your home, in your medicine cabinet, your cleaning products, your garden supplies, there is likely a product made by a direct corporate heir of I.G. Farben. Combined value today, over $100 billion. Here is the financial part. Nobody reports. The assets were never fully taken. The patents, the formulas, the manufacturing knowledge transferred smoothly and legally into the new companies. Executives from 1943 retired comfortably in 1955. Their companies went public. Their stocks grew. Their grandchildren inherited shares. Today, corporations operating in unstable regions use holding companies, subsidiaries, and legal structures so complex that I.G. Farben looks simple by comparison. But the most surprising financial story from World War II is not about who profited during it. It is about the country that was completely flattened and ended up richer than the countries that won. August 1945. Japan surrenders. 2 cities gone. 3 million people lost. The economy non-existent. Hyperinflation overnight. The country importing food to avoid famine by every measure finished. Most experts said recovery would take generations. 25 years later, Japan was the second largest economy on Earth, not recovering, not rebuilding, second in the world. Here is how, and nobody explains this part clearly. America did not rebuild Japan out of kindness. Think of it like a chess game. By 1949, Communist China had come to power. By 1950, a major conflict began on the Korean Peninsula. America looked at the map and realized, we need a strong, stable, industrial partner right there in East Asia, immediately. Japan was the only option. So instead of taking Japan apart, America funded it. U.S. government procurement orders during the Korean conflict went directly into Japanese factories. Toyota, Mitsubishi, Kawasaki. Between 1950 and 1953, Japan received $3.5 billion in American contracts. That is $40 billion in today's money, given directly to the manufacturing sector of a country that had surrendered 5 years earlier. And here is the second piece. Japan was constitutionally blocked from building a large independent military. America covered the security costs. Japan spent almost nothing on defense. Every dollar that Germany, France, or Britain spent on their own military, Japan spent on factories, technology, and exports. By 1968, 23 years after total collapse, Japan surpassed every country in Europe economically, second in the world. The country that did not fight the conflict won the recovery. The country that decided who fought and who rebuilt won everything. Those decisions were not made by people on the front lines. Here is where history meets today. Because the 5 steps from World War II are happening again, in order. Step 1, a major invasion triggers a global crisis. 1939, Poland. 2022, Ukraine. Same trigger, same global reaction. Step 2, government debt explodes. 1940 to 1945. U.S. debt up 600%. 2020 to 2024, U.S. debt goes from $23 to $34 trillion. That is a 47% increase in peacetime. What happens to that number if a larger confrontation begins? Step 3. One industry booms while everything else struggles. In World War II, top 100 companies got 70% of all contracts. In 2023, Lockheed Martin made $67 billion. Their stock went from $390 in 2019 to over $550 in 2024. One sector, growing, while the world grows more uncertain. Step 4, a new financial system gets built. World War II created the IMF, the World Bank, and made the dollar the global reserve currency. One conflict, 80 years of financial architecture. Today, BRICS nations are building a parallel financial system outside the dollar. Saudi Arabia signed oil deals in Chinese yuan. The system built after World War II is cracking. A new one is being designed. The people designing it are not on the news. Step 5. Reconstruction becomes the next profit center. The Marshall Plan, $13 billion to rebuild Europe, was not charity. It was a market. Every country rebuilt with American money, bought American products, and joined American institutions. The conflict built the customer base. Today, Ukraine has received $175 billion in Western support. Reconstruction contracts are already being written. Western firms are already in position. Word for word, step for step, the same playbook. 2 years before World War II began, in 1937, 3 things happened quietly that almost nobody noticed at the time. 1. Central banks started buying gold faster than they had in decades. Gold moved out of Europe and into America. The money left before the chaos started. 2. Insurance companies quietly raised their rates for European clients, and without explaining why publicly, they were pricing in what was coming before any announcement was made. 3. Shipping insurance for Atlantic routes jumped 340% between 1937 and 1939. The financial system knew. Most people were reading newspapers, not balance sheets. Now look at today. 2022, central bank gold purchases hit a 55-year record. 2023, more gold bought than at any point since 1967. Late 2023, Red Sea shipping insurance up over 300%. 2022 to 2023, defense funds significantly outperformed the market. These are not opinions or predictions, these are published numbers, and they are nearly identical to 1937. The people reading these numbers right now are not giving interviews. They are repositioning their capital. The question is not if a major financial shift is coming. The question is whether you will understand what is happening or just watch it happen. Here is what this video actually showed you. World War II did not end in 1945. The gun stopped. The financial system that was built on top of it has been running ever since. The IMF, the World Bank, the dollar, not rewards, a plan, implemented on schedule. $34 trillion in US debt right now. Central banks buying gold at historic rates right now. Defense corporations at record valuations right now. The petrodollar system fracturing right now. Every one of these facts has a version from 1938. The savings and loan collapse, the biggest US banking failure of its time, was not an accident. It was a system that moved money upward while ordinary people absorbed the loss. 2008 had a blueprint. People who understood that blueprint knew exactly when to get out. The Federal Reserve created trillions of dollars not from work, not from production, and that money went somewhere specific. Follow any of these stories long enough and you find the same pattern. Different decade, different headlines, same structure underneath. Because once you see how that one worked, World War II will make even more sense.